Allow me to check all the participants. We have His Excellency Yu Ngoi here. We have His Excellency Mok Ngoi here. Dr. Jejili, our RUPP rector, is here. Dr. Omromni, Director of ITC.
I present on behalf of him. Sorry.
Thank you very much. Can I check the attendance of Dr. Ngao Buntan, please?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you very much. May I check the attendance of Dr.
Hear me?
I can hear you so well.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Tumsarawut, please.
Yeah, I'm here.
Great,
nice
wonderful. And may I check the attendance of His Excellency Subkorn?
There, I can see him.
Okay, Rector say he can see His Subkorn. Dr. Novata?
Yeah, I am here. Thank you.
Very honored to have you.
From your home, huh? It's still your holidays, Fatah.
Yeah, from my home. Yeah.
Confirm the attendance of Education University side, please. Professor Lim. So I also believe Professor Chung Gan Leung Stephen is here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And Professor Louis Tai Lok.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And other delegates are also here. So all the participants, we may start this. If you don't mind, allow me to start this event. But first of all, let me check the participation of Professor Lim Choping. Professor Lim?
Yep. Here, Sok.
Very good. Because you and I are going to be the MC, and one cannot do without the other. So please allow me to start the event today. My name is Sok Sot, Dean of Faculty of Education, Royal University of Phnom Penh. I will be your MC today with Lim Choping, Chair Professor of Learning, Technology and Innovation, Education University of Hong Kong. Please be informed that the event is recorded for publicity and documentation purposes.
A very good afternoon to all. His Excellency Yu Ngoi, the Secretary of State, Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports. His Excellency Mok Ngoi, Directorate General of Higher Education. His Excellency Dr. Chet Chili, Rector, Royal University of Phnom Penh. His Excellency Dr. Al Romney, Director, the Institute of Technology of Cambodia. His Excellency Dr. Ngao Buntan, Rector, the Royal University of Agriculture. His Excellency Dr. Thum Sarawut, Rector, Soarin University. His Excellency Phun Wanaro, Rector, the University of Heng Samrin Kubong. His Excellency Sok Kong, the Head of Management Body, the National University of Pattabong. Dr. No Fata, Education Specialist, World Bank, Cambodia. And ladies and gentlemen of Cambodian delegates.
Also, a very good afternoon to Professor Cheng Yan Leung Stephen, President of the Education University of Hong Kong, and Professor Louis Tai Lok, Vice President for Research and Development, Education University of Hong Kong, ladies and gentlemen of Education University of Hong Kong delegate.
And we are here to witness the signing of partnership agreement between the Education University of Hong Kong and the 5 leading higher education institutions of Cambodia, the Royal University of Phnom Penh, the Royal University of Agriculture, the National University of Patabong, Swarin University, and the Institute of Technology of Cambodia. We need to take note that the Education University of Hong Kong has a very mature relationship with the institutions in Cambodia since 2012, 2012. We have been involved in the National Teaching and Learning Workshop that involved all 90 plus universities in Cambodia, right? And I think over the years, we have been involved with the DGHE, RUPP, NUBB, as well as SRU in some of our research projects that look into the quality of teaching and learning with respect to blended learning for inclusive and quality higher education, right? So it is based on this platform that we are actually signing this partnership agreement. Please, Sok.
Our agenda today includes a brief report on the partnership between the two parties. Then Dr. J.T. Lee and Professor Cheng Yan Leung Stephen will deliver their welcoming remarks, after which His Excellency Yu Ngoy, Secretary of State of Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport, will be delivering an opening speech. Finally, Dr. J. Lee and Professor Cheng Yan Leung Stephen will be signing the partnership agreement. Photos will be taken of the signing of partnership agreement. All representative of member of higher education institution are advised to do the same from your own institutions. A screenshot of the event will also be taken. Please remember to turn on your video cameras at the time.
Okay, before we go to the signing and the welcome speeches, we will just give you some more details of the partnership agreement. So this partnership agreement is made on the day of 29th of December 2020 and entered into by and between RUPP and EdUHK Hong Kong for implementing the Center of Excellence in Higher Education, Teaching and Learning Innovations of the Higher Education Improvement Project, approved by the Royal Government of Cambodia, whereas the Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports, being the executing agency of the Higher Education Improvement Project. Through the signing of the financial agreement between the International Development Association of the World Bank and the Royal Government of Cambodia for a credit amounting to USD $90 million, equivalent to support the Royal Government of Cambodia's effort in the implementation of the Higher Education Improvement Project, starting from 12 July 2018 and ending on 30th June 2024. And the RUPP and EdUHK Hong Kong have agreed to form a teaching, learning, and research partnership for entering into a partnership agreement, and the partners had agreed upon the terms of reference to govern its operation. The objective of this partnership agreement is to document the agreement reached between RUPP and EdUHK Hong Kong for carrying out the activities that have been set out in the Higher Education Improvement Project for improving the quality of university teaching in Cambodia, and to commence the implementation of the agreed areas of collaboration and cooperation to strengthen higher education teaching, learning, and research capacity in the RUPP and the other partner institutions in Cambodia.
All the parties agree to cooperate to develop higher education, teaching, learning, and research capacity in the Royal University of Phnom Penh, offering undergraduate and postgraduate program. EdUHK Hong Kong will share its experience with and render its best services to implement the following development targets: new relationship regarding access to teacher and a wider range of communication and collaborative working through learning platform, redesign of curricula, bridging teaching and research more intensively, upgrading qualification by master and PhD program, establishment of new academic programs, continuous upgrading in pedagogy use of technologies, assessments model aligned with student-centered learning, creating of innovative learning platforms, research and innovation collaboration leading to professional qualifications, providing guidance and tutoring to students mechanism with new means and methods, and assessing impacts and documenting effectiveness of the partnership.
So with this background of the project, as well as the details of it, I would first like to invite His Excellency Dr. Chet Chili, Rector of the Royal University of Phnom Penh, and representing the other the universities to deliver his welcome speech. So, His Excellency, please.
Thank you very much, professors. Good morning. Good afternoon. His Excellency Yu Ngoi, Secretary of State, Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport. His Excellency Mok Ngoi, Director General of Education, of Higher Education, Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport. His Excellency Tum Sarawut, Rector of Swaring University. His Excellency Sokon, Rector of National University of Bat Dambong. His Excellency Amrumani, Director of Institute of Technology of Cambodia. His Excellency Ngao Bunthan, Rector of Royal University of Agriculture. His Excellency Penwan Ro, Rector of Heng Samrin Tabong Khmum University. Ladies and gentlemen, I also very good afternoon to Professor Chung Yang Leung Stephen, President of the Education University of Hong Kong, Professor Lui Tai Lok, Vice President for Research and Development, Dr. Su Sheng Lang Simon, Associate Vice President and Global Affairs of Education University of Hong Kong, and all EdUHK delegates. Today marks a very remarkable event in all the attending higher education institution and the Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport of the Kingdom of Cambodia. As the host and the representative of the Royal University of Agriculture, or UA, Swaring University, SRU, National University of Bat Dambong, NUBB, and Institute of Technology of Cambodia, ITC, who will be working together with Education University of Hong Kong to improve our curricula, instructional design, and assessment. I would like to acknowledge the effort of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport and the Directorate General of Education of Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport, as well as the World Bank team for making today's event possible. In consultation with the Institute of Technology of Cambodia, Royal University of Agriculture, Swaring University, and National University of Bat Dambong, and the Directorate General of Higher Education, Cambodia, the Education University of Hong Kong, and Royal University of Phnom Penh are proposing graduate certificate in teaching and learning in higher education that aims to build the capacity of university teachers in Cambodia to enhance access to quality higher education teaching and learning. For 45-hour or 3 credit courses are proposed for this graduate certificate that will be delivered in a blended learning, both face-to-face and online mode, with individual and group projects and presentations. The 4 courses have been identified based on the analysis of professional development program of university teachers internationally, namely University of Adelaide and University of Queensland from Australia, University of Cambridge and University of York from England, University of Hong Kong, and the Education University of Hong Kong from Hong Kong Special Administration Region, Nanyang Technological University and National University of Singapore from Singapore, and Duke University and University of Vermont from the United States of America. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, to be aware that GCTLHE participants will 1, complete the 12 credit courses offered by the center. 2, complete the practice-based teaching and learning assignment tasks. And 3, submit an action learning research report or learning portfolio reports. The 4 courses will include 1, curriculum development and planning, 2, teaching and learning approaches and strategies, 3, assessment for learning, and 4, action research. By the end of the project, 40 master teachers, faculty members enroll in the training program. It means graduate certificate in teaching and learning in higher education. At least 480 students indirectly benefit from the courses taught by the master teachers, faculty members at RUPP alone, and at least 720 students benefit from the courses taught by the master teachers, faculty members of the other 4-member university. It means ITC, RUA, SRU, and NUBB. In addition, at least 50 other faculty members from each member university indirectly benefit from the training program. More importantly, at least 6 faculty members from the 5 universities in Cambodia enroll in the Doctor of Education at EdUHK. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of this project, I expect to see continuation of the initiative in the form of Master and Doctor of Education in STEM education program developed jointly by the member higher education institutions, and that many of our curricula and internationalized. I thank the team at the Faculty of Education for their tirelessness in working with Education University of Hong Kong to bring us all to this partnership program. I also thank EdUHK profoundly for agreeing to be our partner and for their patience and understanding in working in a very tough time of COVID-19 crisis. I would like to give the floor to Professor Chung Yang Leung Stephen, President of the Education University of Hong Kong, to deliver his speech marking the signing of the partnership program that we are having. Professor, please. Thank you.
Thank you. His Excellency Yok Oi, Secretary of State, Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport. His Excellency Mok Oi, Director General of Higher Education, Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport. His Excellency Dr. Chad Chili, Rector of RUPP, rectors and representatives of ITC, NUBB, RUA, and SRU. Dr. Nofeta, Education Specialist, World Bank, Cambodia. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It gives me great pleasure to be here today for the signing and launching of the partnership agreement between the Royal University of Phnom Penh and the Education University of Hong Kong. This partnership agreement aims to build the capacity of universities in Cambodia for inclusive and quality higher education. Today's signing signals the start of a closer cooperation between EdUHK and RUPP, and with other 4 Cambodia universities, the Directorate General of Higher Education, and the World Bank. EdUHK is indeed honored and humbled to work with the 5 leading Cambodia universities on teacher professional development, course development, cooperative research, and knowledge transfer in the next 3 years under the World Bank's Higher Education Improvement Project. In recent years, universities in the Asia Pacific has engaged in various teaching and learning reforms and innovations that focus on supporting students development of lifelong learning competency, integrating digital technologies into programs and courses, and improving equitable access to quality education for all. For these reforms and innovations to have a significant impact on the quality and equality of higher education, there is a need for quality professional development of university teachers, curriculum and assessment reforms, and engaging pedagogies. We are excited to co-establish the Center of Excellence in Higher Education, Teaching and Learning and Innovations with the RUPP that will take a leading role in building teachers' capacity and enhancing the quality of higher education teaching and learning in Cambodia. We are also looking forward to co-design and co-develop the graduate certificate in teaching and learning in higher education for the professional developments of higher education teachers in Cambodia. This partnership plays an important role in enhancing the quality of higher education in the Asian Pacific region and highlights our commitment to the UN Sustainable Development Goal number 4, which are to ensure inclusive and equitable education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. I look forward to seeing the impact of our collaboration on higher education teaching and learning. Wishing all of you good health, happiness, and success. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Professor Stephen Chung. And also thank you very much, His Excellency, Dr. Chet Chen. It is indeed a very insightful, welcoming speech that lays out the expectations and also the way forward in this project itself. Okay, next, I would like to invite His Excellency Yok Ngoy, the Secretary of State from the Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports, to deliver his opening remark. His Excellency, please.
Good afternoon, Professor Cheung Yan Bung Stefan, President of the Education University of Hong Kong, Professor Lee Tai Lok, Vice President for Research and Development, Professor Su Seng Lang Simon, Associate Vice President for Global Affairs, all the Education University of Hong Kong delegates, Excellency Mak Ngoy, Director General of Higher Education, Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport, His Excellency Chiet Chili, Rector of the Royal University of Phnom Penh, His Excellency Om Romney, Director of Institute of Technology of Cambodia, His Excellency Tum Saravut, Rector of Swarian University, His Excellency Ngao Bun Than, Rector of the Royal University of Agriculture, His Excellency Sokhon, Rector of National University of Battambang, His Excellency Pen Janaro, Rector of Heng Samran Tabong Phnom University, Dr. Nofata from World Bank, Cambodia, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to witness the partnership agreement signing between Education University of Hong Kong and the Royal University of Phnom Penh, who will sign on behalf of 4 other member higher education institutions in the Higher Education Improvement Project on the development of the Center of Excellence in Higher Education, Teaching, Learning, and Innovation. The main mission of the Center of Excellence is to develop effective pedagogies, improve classroom learning, nurture university teachers' ability to design and implement effective courses and programs, and to provide human and pedagogical resources, including online resources. In addition, its mission is to improve learning and teaching effectiveness by embracing teaching innovation that meet our changing educational needs. Given the pace of education development in the countries and the reform set forth by the Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport, Cambodia needs strong foundation for curriculum, instructional design and assessment, especially in higher education, to ensure what is taught and test match with what we need. The Center of Excellence will be an attempt to realize this goal. The 5 public higher education institutions in Cambodia will work collaboratively with Education University of Hong Kong to upgrade the best practices in Cambodia in a high level in curriculum, instructional design and assessment. I hope that after this project, the 5 higher education institutions will be able to internationalize their curriculum and program to ensure international quality for all programs. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I trust that the Royal University of Phnom Penh, Institute of Technology of Cambodia, Royal University of Agriculture, National University of Battambang, and aspiring universities will assign the best team of education experts and practitioners to engage in projects and actively share and learn from the experts from Education University of Hong Kong to improve the current practice to high standard. I also trust that the Education University of Hong Kong and the assigned experts will do their best to gain insight into Cambodian existing practices before upgrading them to high standard so that the ultimate outcome of the project are long-lasting and sustainable. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to declare the opening of the partnership agreement signing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for the meaningful remark. Next, I would like to invite all the participants to prepare for photo to be taken while the signing is being prepared to be signed as well. The team, please help. So we need to take a lot of photos of what is happening because we are doing this on virtual world. Please take as many photos to be shared and for us to be used later on as the witness of this signing in a very difficult situation. Ready to take photo as well. Okay. And come to take picture of the signature too. Oh, everyone smile and then the like symbol, a symbol of heart, or thumb up. Thumb up, one thumb up. Both hands if you have. Have both hands. All right. Please, let's move to the signing of the paper now. We will take a lot of photos so that we know that we are doing it seriously. Okay, come and take picture here on So we also take close-up photo of the signing. The EdUHK, please do the same. And all the participating member, please also take picture of the president joining. And please turn on your camera for us to take screenshots. Yeah, please show lift up the
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Đó. Đó.
Professor Chirp, now it's your turn to do the closing remark and any last word for this signing ceremony. Professor Chirp, please.
All right. So thank you very much, His Excellencies, Rectors, Presidents, ladies and gentlemen. It is really great that after more than 1.5 years of hard work working with the different institutions in Cambodia and also with the Director General of Higher Education, that we are able to come to this point and start up with this collaboration that we would be working with you, not just like one way in terms of the learning process, but I think it is a two-way learning process between the Education University of Hong Kong and also the different universities in Cambodia. So we definitely look forward to this collaboration with you, and may we have a very productive 3 years, and hopefully 2021 would be a very different year as compared to 2020. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor. Without further ado, our signing ceremony has come to an end. However, each member participants, please kindly share with us the photo to the group. That's why the group was created for. And we will send back and forth the signed agreement to be completed. And from there, we will have a technical meeting with all the member university, rector, and director of all the member university. Please assign a person in charge so that we can start discussing and moving on to working together and recruiting the teachers and the activity. If you don't have any questions, this would conclude the ends of this signing ceremony. Thank you so much for making your time to join us in this special event today. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bật lên.
Yeah.
Okay.
The very first step, we're preparing the screen capture.
Okay.
Okay, just call the band, please.
OK.
版權嘅
OK。
版權。
我要望住定望你啊？ OK。
真係扮簽嘅。
OK。呢個望住佢啦。
冇錯。OK。好，頭先望呢度先係啦。好，準備。好。